welcome back. This is the beginning of the GSL Season 5 Codas. This is the up and down matches with Caldor and Wolf. And we've already had our first 3 matches. We've got a possible max of 15, in fact, today.
Yeah, exactly. That's perfectly true. And now we have one player who was able to win the first game against another one who lost map number 1. We have JYP up against Boom Boom. But first of all, here are the current standings with JYP MMA and Hyun being up 1-0.
Notice that the 2 players who were in Codas are leading strong here as well. They both have taken their first point. The players coming from A to up and downs, not doing as well so far here. Hyun, though, was able to take a point.
And one of the things that you will realize if you check out these player names, which we mentioned earlier, but in case if you just tuned in, Boom Boom left the Prime team. Yes. We don't really know why. We don't have any background information. To be honest, I was quite surprised to hear about it. And here we have him, starting to the right, not wearing the Prime jersey, of course, still using the equipment, but wearing a GOMTV shirt today. Whereas to the left, we have EGJYP.
Yeah, he's currently, of course, up a game here, whereas the opposite is true of Boom Boom. So,
do you know what? I want to see EG going into a partnership with LGIM for the GSTL, so I have this nickname LGIM EGJYPRC. Think about that. Think about that for a second, Wolf, okay?
I don't want to think about that.
And to the bottom left, LGIM EGJYPRC. Street Fighter boys would go nuts.
He would, man. I don't even want to think about it.
Well, right now we are jumping into the game on Ohana. This is the second game for both of these players. Rhodos versus Zerg on Ohana. JYP is up against Boom Boom. The map is loading and we are ready to roll. This is the Up and Downs for Season 5, brought to you by Caldor and Wolf.
Welcome to Ohana. Up here at the top left, the form. Oh, actually, I take it back. We're starting from the bottom right. Don't freak out. Down here at the bottom, former TSL player was teamless for a while. One of the only teamless players in Codas a long time ago, but now he is on a new team. EG, he is.
EG, JYP, Lady Core.
That intro way out, man. I was like, well, wait a minute. Like, I gotta say his name.
Well, JYP is starting to the bottom right here. He is up against Zerg. Starting to the top left, we have his opponent. And we have... Oh la la!
Boom Boom!
No, that's not Boom Boom. That's actually a freezing JYP who's currently counting down. That's going to be pretty intense. He's already at 47. Oh, this is getting close, Wolf. I feel he might not be able to recover from this.
I don't know, man. It's down to 40 now, and I'm still watching. I'm pretty sure we're going to have a regame.
Yeah, we are at 37. That doesn't look good.
Yeah. Well, as long as Boom Boom doesn't drop him, he may be able to remain.
I think at this point, 50 seconds in the game, we can just re-host the game.
Probably.
JYP having an anxiety attack, pulling the plug.
Well, you know what? Speaking of plugs, I have a plug I want to make.
Okay, go.
We talked about following us on Twitter, which I'll just subtly plug here again. Follow Caldor on Twitter, follow us on Proxy Wolf. But if you like Seoul or like to see pictures of Seoul,
don't look at me, look at them.
And you, I just want to look at you smile. Yeah, JYP's piece is down. We just got confirmation of that. But anyway, if you want to see some pictures of Seoul, or if you really like me, or both, you can actually follow me on Instagram. It's something I'm using a while. I don't use the editing stuff all too much, but I do love to upload pictures there. You can follow me there on at Proxy Wolf. Then you guys use Instagram. And I actually, when people follow me, I look at their pictures. I look at some of you guys' pictures too. I might follow some of you back because I love looking at cool pictures that people take and put them up on Instagram. So, not a hipster. I think Instagram is cool. I like it.
Fair point.
I like pictures of food. I like pictures of cities, pets. Sometimes people post pictures of their families, and I'm like, you know what?
Okay,
that's a cool
right now you're overdoing it. Do you know what that sounds like? Like you're trying to create a profile for a dating site. I like long walks at the beach, long talks. I like to look into your eyes.
I'm just talking about types of pictures I like, though.
Yeah, of course.
That's just something that everybody should do. Also, as mentioned before, go buy a premium ticket. What else could I plug right now?
I don't know. You can re-plug the computer of JYP.
Yeah, I guess I gotta go. I guess I could go plug that back in.
I think the GOM Wizard is already on it.
Yeah, he's probably on it.
The GOM Wizard is just looking in there as a bzzzt. and that cable attaches itself. So for some reason he had to restart, right? Certainly looks like it. I mean, he's not online as far as I can tell. He's not in the lobby just yet, so I guess he's just restarting his computer, and then we're gonna start the match. I'm always happy when something like this happens within the first 2-3 minutes of the game.
Yeah.
It's just so frustrating and annoying if you have like a 30-minute match and then in the last second suddenly one of the players disconnects. It's like, oh my god, why now? So I'm perfectly cool with that happening in the first 3 minutes. That's fine. But yeah, so far today, not a lot has happened. We have 3 games, and JYP is one of the players that is a little bit ahead. And I guess while we're waiting, I wanted to do this during the match, but we can do it already now. The one thing that Boom Boom has to face right now is a Protoss player. And not only does he have to face a Protoss, he has to face him on Ohana, which is one of the maps that Protoss players really like against Zerg. I think this is probably the map that is chosen the most after Entombed Valley in the GSTL right now.
Because it's so similar to Entombed Valley.
Yeah, exactly.
And Zergs are just, the race in general is not as family oriented as Protoss is. So
exactly.
It just doesn't feel as comfortable for them to play on this map. Because Ohana means family.
That's actually not true at all. Zerg is the swarm. We have one beating mind and heart, my friend.
Yeah, I guess
that's
so.
That's the perfect definition of
it's
family.
Like only one family.
Yeah.
Whereas Protoss, they've got...
Protoss was their first, probably. But the thing is, on Ohana, you can execute a 2-base timing push so easily. You can take your 3rd base if you want to. So there's a lot of options that you have. So Boom Boom is in his weakest matchup. He actually
and he's
lost.
Down a game.
Yeah, in the group, he's already down a game. And he's in his weakest matchup as he lost every single match against Protoss that he played in the last few weeks. It was also the final match that he played in the GSL Code A, which is the reason why he's currently here at the Up&Down. So for Boom Boom, this is definitely going to be a problem. JYP, on the other hand, is pretty good in this matchup. He's really good. So that's going to be a very scary moment for Boom Boom. If he loses here, he's down 2 maps already, whereas JYP is suddenly in a 2-0 lead over his opponent, not his opponent, but in the group in general, and has a really, really good shot at getting into Code S. So this is really important for Boom Boom now. Later on, the opponents are definitely not getting any easier, and it's a bit scary for him.
Yeah.
I feel one of the players that he really wanted to win against was MMA. It didn't look too bad in the beginning. I mean, if you scale out this 11-11 and you're actually able to prevent one of the barracks, then you are in a pretty good spot. But MMA was just too tough today.
Yeah, he looks really... He was basically... I mean, he looked like he's on top of his game. That's what I'm trying to get out here.
Yeah. You know, for MMA, this up and downs are just very important. In the past, he has been struggling a little bit, and this is definitely not where he wants to be. He wants to be back in Code S. And as he's going to be leaving, well, Slayer is disbanding, it's pretty important for him to really leave in the pressure here.
Yeah, that's definitely true. We still don't have JYP in the lobby, so there's probably some sort of issue still being worked out. You know, it may be as a swap computers right now, which another player is probably set up on another computer, so he may have to not only displace another player right now, but he may be setting up his stuff completely on a new computer right now as we speak. We actually do not know, so...
Yeah, right now we just have to wait a little bit. Apparently there was also an article released about Boom Boom that he left the Prime team, if I'm not mistaken. Someone sent me a link on Twitter, which is for This Is Game. I didn't read through it just yet, so we don't know about the background, but we'll definitely find out later on, and if we can still do that while we're here at the studio, we're going to inform you guys. But if you have any insights, then definitely let us know, because we basically just heard about it when we were here and we saw him in the booth, and we're like, wait a second, he doesn't wear the Prime jersey today, he's actually here in the GSL uniform. And that's always what happens when a player is teamless, doesn't have a team. You usually find them just wearing one of the GOM shirts.
Yeah, because sometimes otherwise you have 4GG and a Hagrid shirt, and those shirts are really weird. What was that Hagrid shirt? We was going to the Hagrid shirt. You can't wear that. GOM's like, I don't know if we can put the Hagrid shirt on TV. It confuses people. They're not sure if it's a Hagrid shirt or not.
I still refuse to see the Hagrid in that, but yeah.
Listen, go look up Hagrid shirt GSL on YouTube.
Other people saw it. Other people saw the Hagrid
Look up
too,
Hagrid shirt GSL on YouTube, and you know, some people see it, some people don't. It's all about whether it's just your perspective.
YouTube actually has a couple of really cool highlight videos about the GSL Code S and also Code A. There's this other one. Well, I always have to laugh. I have a complete meltdown during the cast, and just everything that I say is just look it up. I think it's called Meltdown GSL.
That was actually really funny. Yeah,
that was really cool. I mean, that was so funny. funny. I actually watch that occasionally, and I'm just like, oh my god, what exactly was going through my mind when I had that moment? And you're just sitting there and going about it. It was pretty cool. So if you just spent these few minutes while we were waiting for JYP, looking up some of the highlights of the GSL, definitely make sure to check that one out too.
There's also some really funny Tasto's highlights.
Yeah.
There's also the Wolf Loves Hair video, which is always very dear to me.
If you ever do make an outtake video like this, make sure that you tweet on to us as well. This Meltdown video that I just talked about, I found that actually by sheer coincidence. Nobody sent me a link. I just looked up GSL videos on YouTube, and then it was suggested to me, so I looked it up and tweeted about it, opened the Reddit thread, and it gained like 30,000 views or what. So if you guys at some point really have outtake videos of GSL Code S and Code A, send us a tweet at ProxyWolf at Caldo, and if there's good stuff in there, we'll definitely retweet it and make sure that it gets a bit more attention.
Yeah. Still just waiting here. No invite yet for JYP.
Yeah, I think he probably really had to change his computer.
Yeah, I think that there's...
He's actually standing behind us. He's just right over there. You can't see him. I mean, you can see the guy with a white dress. That's actually the TSL coach.
You can see
and
Shine
next to them is Shine.
Yeah.
And Shine is currently talking to JYP. So
just right over there. Well,
I'm not sure what he's waiting for. Apparently, they really changed something.
They're saying just wait a little bit. His computer's changing.
Okay. That's fine.
This is actually, we haven't had to kill this much time since we had to disconnect at the GSTL finals.
Oh man, that was awful. That was awful. That was like, I felt so sorry. That's exactly what I talked about earlier. If it happens in the first few minutes, that's perfectly fine. But this situation is like, it was a little bit crazy.
Well, how can we interact with the Twitter viewers? Actually, you can tweet us to ask us questions right now. I don't know. At any moment, we might just have to stop answering your questions. But you can tweet questions to us right now. Maybe we could do like a brief AMA session or something here, because I've got Twitter open right now. Yeah. Tweet your questions to both of us, and so they'll pop up for both screens if you have a question for Calder or myself.
I mean, the thing is, guys, that the Up&Downs, they are... This entire season that we now have is all a little bit packed, because... actually, we're getting an update. Just give a second. So apparently, we are just preponing one of the games. We are going to have Hack against Alive first. We're going to switch.
I was wondering whether to do that in the first place, but I guess there's just like some bigger issue here that we don't know about yet. But basically, we're going to do the matches out of order because it just makes sense. Because if one match is postponed, you can still do the other ones at the same time.
That's fine. I adjusted my sheet. It's official now.
All right, the sheet's been adjusted.
Yeah, I'm already looking forward to the calculations later. Live on camera, on stream, trying to talk, and at the same time making the calculations who won against whom, who has
That's even easier than what we're dealing with right now. Seeing a few questions on Twitter. If you guys see one map back in the map pool, which would it be and why?
One map back in the map pool.
I would definitely say
I want to troll you so hard.
I know what you're gonna say.
Drop the C word, but I'm not gonna do it.
I want Zonal Caverns actually. I want Zonal Caverns back in the map pool.
Every player that is watching right now is gonna hate on you so much. They're like, why?
I want to see it. The game is so different now than it used to be.
You know what I sometimes miss? It's a tough map, but I really missed it for a long time. Metropolis. With cross positions. I like Metropolis, or with not close positions. Metropolis was a map that I really liked. It was not the most balanced map, though. So, Metropolis was actually... It was one of the maps where I had some of the most amazing games that I casted in my life. So I would really love to see that one again. But yeah, we have the invite for the next game. So we are switching JYP against Boom Boom versus Alive and Hack. So both of them are already in the lobby, and then I guess we'll start with the Terran versus Terran. So JYP has a little bit more time to set up his gear, make sure that everything's working fine, and ready.
Yep.
Alive with the go-go, and so we can basically get this party started. I think the Korean casters are currently getting ready.
Yeah, so in this case, of course, Alive up 1-0, and Hack is down 0-1.
Yeah, let me just check out my sheets for the statistics. Have to change things up here a little bit, but there we have our two Terran players, Alive and Hack. And this is a scenario where both of them are down a map.
Oh, that's right. Alive was not able to take this map either.
Exactly.
He was so ahead, I just totally slipped my mind, man.
Yeah, that game was really crazy. Alive, man. On Cloud Kingdom against JYP, he lost. And Hack, on the other hand, of course, just recently was defeated by Hyun. Now they are both facing each other in TVT in a Terran Mirror match. We're gonna find out who wins. The map is Abyssal City. Let's get things started here. The GSL Up&Downs for Season 5 and find out who has a shot at Code S, who will have to play in Code A. Here we go. The map is loading and actually ready. And yeah, go on. Green casters, wrap it up. Let's get this party started. The game is live. We have the GSL up and downs with Carlo and Wolf alive against Hack. Starting to the left side of the map is our Terran player, starting for Fnatic. He is...
Fnatic alive.
Yeah, very much so.
Yeah. He's down a game though.
Not
he's
dead
up,
yet.
He's up against the Teal Terran for the team Startail, who starts on the right side. Used to go by Nuke. Changed his name to the Korean word for nuke. He is...
Starcraft.
Our first Terran versus Terran here, and our first mirror match of the day. We have 3 Terrans in the group. So currently Gas first for Alive, wants to be aggressive here, whereas we have the Barracks for his opponent. No refinery just yet. Let's see if he's adding a refinery, or we will have the 1 Barracks into expand, which is quite likely.
No, this map is Abyssal City. This is the map where players love to proxy the starport down. For example, since Live is the one who takes Gas, I'll talk about his position where he may likely proxy. It will be at the bottom right of the map, just underneath Hack's main, and that's something that Hack is going to want to check for later on. Not just yet, because it's too soon. But we have seen a lot of proxies on this map, with Banshees, but also with drops, dropping Hellions into the main base, for example.
It is a great map for proxies, that's definitely true. And the scouting for Hack is a bit faster, he wants to see what's going on here. And Live, on the other hand, is just having a quick look here. Oh, he actually, for a second, he saw the SCV.
Yep.
Doesn't help him, of course. I mean, it's not like, okay, I've seen it, now I can kill it. He doesn't have any units just yet. But yeah, he knows that there's an SCV in his main base, but now he knows for sure. He's also heading out, trying to check those 2 Zalnaga watchtowers. It was actually so funny. You remember when we had the game on this map for the first time, and the Terran player built his double barracks, his 11-11 opening inside the range of the Zalnaga watchtower. I was like, oh, dude,
Counter, he's actually going to kill his SCV, but more importantly, Alive is proxying.
Yeah.
Well, maybe not. He actually put his SCV down there for a little bit and then moved it. He doesn't have enough resource to make the proxy just yet. He is going to have to keep this SCV alive, though, if he wants to have any plans of doing that later on. He's with the reactor here, it looks very likely like he wants to proxy his starport for faster medevacs. Oh, wow, look at that. A fast command cert in the main for Hack, but he's only making a reactor on his barracks. He's going to be a little bit vulnerable here. And the proxy, will he actually start it? I think he has it queued. Yeah, there it is.
There it is. You want to have the starport that you have the medevac out a little bit faster, and then you can just go into your opponent's main base. Right now, what we have for Hack is a little bit more of a defensive start. He actually builds his command center in the main base and doesn't drop it at the natural. So if Hack is able to defend here, then Alive will be behind. That is the one thing that you always have to consider if you go for a proxy strategy. Not only necessarily for the proxy, but if you go for gas first and aggression, for the fast tech.
And we have a reactor on the barracks up for Alive already as well, so he's going to have just as much marine production, but he's also going to have the medevac for healing and Hellion support. Those are all things that Hack has sacrificed by getting that faster command center. He will start the medevac now. It's already on its way. This is tense, man. And he's doing some switching here. He's losing a little bit of marine production, but he is going to get reactor Hellions out, and that's going to help him so much against this, getting that stacked up damage. I love the repair on the Hellion here, making sure he can do the max amount of damage when that medevac comes out.
And let's see how Hack is going to defend here. What's definitely going to help him is that he has his orbital still in the main base. He also waits for his opponent's medevac. He knows that something like this might be happening and has Marines in position. At the front, poking a little bit, is one of the Hellions of Alive. And Hack is using all his units to chase it away. This is the time that Alive could use to drop, and that's exactly what he does.
Yep, here we go. He's coming into the main. Not all the units are in position yet, but the Hellions will come back in very quickly. They're on their way now. Gets a good hit on those Marines. Another hit goes off. He's going to take out all 4 of those Marines first.
A great hit. Yeah, really well done so far. But there are 2 Hellions, and now the drop is being chased away using a few SCVs here too. So not too much damage done. It's not to the economy at least, and that's of course an important part. And Hack tries to take his orbital now down to the mineral line. Double drop.
This is so much healing, and if he gets in there, Hack may not be able to hold. When the Viking comes out, he's got to either commit or get out. Okay, I think he's going to commit.
Yes,
trying to switch there so we get the max amount of Hellions in. The one Viking is not going to be enough.
Yeah, one Viking is definitely not going to be enough, and there is already the SCV train to the bottom. In the main base, here we go. The Viking will be able to take down one or two both medivacs, but the thing is how much damage will be done. He uses all his SCVs, and with the Helmet control that Alive is currently showcasing, he's taking down every single one of them.
Oh, and so many Marines being lost here as well. Really nice micro by Alive, taking a significant supply lead here.
The Harvester count 28 to 16. Alive's own orbital is halfway done. That was very, very bad for a Hack. He lost 15 Harvesters.
Yeah,
great job by Alive.
With Alive's command center finishing up here, he's going to be in a pretty good spot. As far as tech goes, though, the Viking is out for Hack. He's also got a siege tank almost done, whereas Alive does not have any siege tank production just yet. And so this game basically becomes even, but Alive was able to do a really nice trade there. He doesn't have the extra mining that Hack's doing at his natural just yet. He doesn't have the SCVs transfer down.
The Harvester count 30 to 22, so Hack is now with the double SCV production that he has catching up, as mentioned. To the left we have the orbital halfway done for Alive, then he can build two SCVs too. But yeah, it's definitely evening out. So Alive did damage, he lost a lot though on the other hand, and that's one of the things that he has to struggle with. As you can see, the orbital is now nearly completed. Let's have a quick look at the Harvester count once again. It's now at 32 to 26. So he's really evening out here.
He is harassing with the Viking here, actually, and this is pretty cool. This is so rare, but he's going to get two SCVs, and then he's going to have to get out. But he doesn't lose the Viking, so it's worth it. And now Hack is trying to push through here. People try to do this all the time on this map, and I just don't think it's smart. He loses several Marines. That was not worth it.
The Viking was once more in position, and in total he took down 5 Harvesters. He loses the Viking, which is of course sad.
It's really sad.
Yeah, there's no run, Viking run. Not today.
Not today.
Yeah, and at this point, Alive now at 57 against 58. Supply, both of them with similar tech that they have now. But it's going to be, in Harvester's lost, Alive is in a better position, but Hack was able to even out, and they are now exactly on 34 supply. Harvester supply, that is, both of them.
The game has evened out quite a bit. A lot of the upgrades are going to be similar, but as you can see here, Combat Shield's a little bit later for Alive as well here. If I'm not mistaken. I don't think he got it already. Yeah, no, he didn't. No. I'm sorry, guys, but no, yeah.
No combat shield so far. Both of them still being on 2 bases, and now, of course, very stable in their defense. It looks like Hack wants to be the one who opens up with a bit more of an aggressive play, but both of these players are heading into Bayer. The upgrades will be a little bit faster for Hack. I actually expected Alive to be the one who adds his first engineering bay and starts with upgrades, but it's the Startail player who goes for the engineering bay, will now soon start +1 attack, and then head into Armory and second engineering bay.
That Hellion was cornered.
Yeah.
At any rate, the question now becomes who takes the first, third command center, and it looks like neither of them want to. They're both actually moving out on the map, trying to be aggressive. This siege tank positioning here is really nice, and actually he micros it well, so he actually does a ton of damage to those Hellions. That was really nicely done by Alive. He's trying to bait him into the tank fire potentially here as well, since he has control of the Watchtower. Both players going for the attack, but Alive has this extra card in his hand, which is the drop that he's got sending over.
Yeah, and it looks like I was right after all with my initial thought. We have the double engineering bay now for Alive, and he will most likely, if he continues like this, also start the upgrades faster. Double engineering bay is done. Drops into his opponent's main base right now, trying to take down the supply depot and go for the Harvesters.
He's doing a lot of damage here, but the siege tank sieges up. He needs to pull back a little bit more and get to a better position here.
And he does. He goes right behind the mineral line, makes sure that his drop still survives though. Oh, if he's able to kill this engineering bay, that would be really weird. I don't think it's going to work, but still. There's the upgrade. Double upgrade started for Alive, and the Hack has to be careful that he doesn't lose his upgrade.
Uh-oh, this is a good position for Alive as well, but he doesn't have combat shields. And these Marines doing a lot of damage for the tank siege, and I think Hack actually is going to get the much better trade here since he was able to catch Alive a little bit awkwardly there. I thought Alive was going to get the better engagement, but Hack turned it around.
The problem for Alive was that he wasn't sieged up, and the sieging up just took way too long. That was the time that Hack used Snotter to stim in, take down one tank, and diminish the number of Marines that was defending them. So really well done here by Hack. A nice engagement for him. Alive still has this drop to the right side, this threat to the main base, but Hack is aware of it.
Yeah, he didn't kill the eBay. You can see here, Hack he's got one upgrade going at a time, Alive with 2 at a time, a little bit slower, but just barely, so he's going to get ahead very rapidly right now.
He needs an armory though. He needs to start it soon if he wants to start the second wave.
Yeah. Whereas Hack is now getting his armory and his second eBay, so he will be able to continue those upgrades pretty soon. A very large drop here for Hack.
Yeah.
And he may catch a life a little bit unfair. There's one siege tank in position, but the rest of the army is going the opposite direction right now.
That's a huge drop. I mean, that's a Doom drop right there, and Alive, he does not really... Well, he's moving his units into the main base, but nice defense. That was important. Hack didn't lose a single unit, but that was really, really important. But look at the production tab. We don't have an armory for Alive, or did you already build it? I don't think I've seen it. I don't think he has one.
I don't think he has one either.
No, he doesn't have an armory. So he really needs one. His +1/+1 will be done. But if Hack starts his second wave of upgrades, he will be ahead. But first of all, Alive has to defend against the drop. He is pulling every single SCV that he has. Attacks those siege tanks, but the Marines are not enough.
Yeah, there's not a lot of Marines for Hack to defend the siege tanks, but he's got just enough to deflect the SCVs. Now he can actually pick up and get out of here. Will he save that tank? No, not quite, but that was a pretty good trade for him overall. The SCVs tried to kill the tanks. It looked a little bit misleading. You know, Alive darted in there like, hey, maybe I can catch these. Look at this counter drop to try to trap him. I like that.
Harvester count is way better for Hack now. He killed so many SCVs, in total 26. We have the armory nearly completed for Alive.
Oh, he's going to get sandwiched here. He's going to try to trap Alive's forces, and he will.
Yeah, he starts to draw from both sides. Alive is running in, but Hack is running in, but yeah, Alive losing a lot here, and now he's down 30 supply in the game.
He picked off some siege tanks. He's got the siege tank lead at 4-7 or 4-3. He's also got a medevac deficit, however, at 4-7. That's what I was saying a moment ago. And 61-49 SCVs for Hack. Neither player secured a third base though.
They have the third orbital, but they did not put it to the mineral line. They're not mining. That's what Hack is trying to do now. Alive, not so far, but he has the scouting information, so he can react. +2/+2 been started for Alive. Hack needs to start the second armor upgrade as soon as his first one is done. And Alive wants to have missile turrets. He's like, okay, well, you really try to drop me this hard. I want to have a few missile turrets here just to be on the safe side. I don't want to run into a situation where I have to retreat with my entire army, or I'm caught out of position and you can take down my entire production and economy. And of course, in a Terran versus Terran, so important, these sensor towers. This is basically the answer that Hack has to this problem.
And this drop is going to be shut down.
Yeah.
So, at this point, Alive has a massive deficit in supply. It's 40 supply down. His third is ready, but wasn't landing for such a long time. He's going to have to use his mobility, or at least try to use his mobility, because his opponent's army is identical to his. It's not like Alive has a mobility advantage, but Alive is really known for controlling his army well, doing really nice multi-prong harassment. He needs to make sure his tanks are sieged, and he does. Just little things like this can actually help him take some fights. Look at that, picks off a few Marines.
Not so many though. Hack is still with a 40 supply lead, and in army supply he is so far ahead of his opponent. He controls the center of the map right now. He is at the Zalnaga watchtower, takes down the rocks here, has an endless stream of reinforcements just moving to the left side of the map, and he's looking for an opening, and if he actually able, he's trying to go for it. He's moving in with everything that he has and starts to focus on siege tanks. A nice concave here for Hack, and he has way too much.
Yeah, way too much here. Takes out those siege tanks.
Alive is now down to 1 tank against 8, 9 medivacs against 2. I think this is it.
This may be, man. Alive tried to engage those the best way he could, but now he just does not have enough Marines. There's no siege tanks for Alive to defend here. Every Marine he's got is coming out to die. That's the last siege tank up there on the top of the ramp, and Hack can just run up and take it down.
76 supply for Alive. He is definitely out of luck here.
GG.
Hack takes it. Alive now down 2 games. Hack being the 1-1 score in the Up&Downs. Well done by Hack. Alive a little bit at a loss here.
Yeah, he was pretty. You know, he had his certain engagements that went well for him, but the damage to the first drop was not as significant as it could have been. And then he started to fall apart with his engagements. He took his third base so late, and he took a few wrong engagements. In TVT, if you take a few wrong engagements and you're down in economy, it's just so hard to come back. You basically have to out-position your opponent, which he was doing okay, but even if you out-position your opponent, at some point it becomes a numbers game. He didn't have enough units to hold. Map number 5, I believe we're on now, is going to be JYP and Boom Boom on Ohana.
That's finally the game that we had to restart.
Yeah, this is really game number 4, quote-unquote.
Yeah, exactly. So earlier on we already tried to start this game, but then there was a problem with the PC of JYP, so we kind of preponed Alive versus Hack, but now we have JYP up against Boom Boom, who left the Prime team today or yesterday, just recently. Pretty sure we're getting a shot of the two of them. There they are. There they are. Boom Boom today with the GSL shirt, as he is teamless.
Yep, no Hagrid shirt.
And no Hagrid shirt today. JYP is in, well, he has a 1 win already. Won the first game against Alive. And Boom Boom, on the other hand, lost to MMA. So very important game for Boom Boom. It's a very tough match for him, playing on Ohana against the Protoss player that is very good against Zerg. Boom Boom himself, not the best player against Protoss. Especially recently, he lost a lot of matches against Protoss. So this is really tense. If Boom Boom loses here, he is in the same situation as Alive. He will be down 2 maps already in the Up&Downs, which is really a big deal, especially in a 6-player group. The game is starting, ladies and gentlemen. Ohana is the map. We have JYP up against Boom Boom at the GSL Up&Downs, brought to you by Colin Wolf.